Thank you very much for that introduction and for inviting me here, and thank everybody for coming on such a spritzy night. I just got back from a reading in Detroit, and let me tell you, it's a really hopping place. I had a great time there. It's a wonderful community, just like Ottawa, only different. And I was there for the release party of a wonderful print magazine called Quill Puddle. And some of those minimalist poems about goldfish, anuses, etc., were published in this little magazine. I love these print magazines. I know that we feel like, oh, they're a dying breed, but they just people still keep making them, and I think there's a reason we need to hold these things and get to know new poets, and so I was very pleased to see this come out in print. So I'm just going to read three little teeny tiny ones from this one, from the manuscript Art is the Artichoke of Rose. Twigs mercurial tap, gray area fidgety. Tongueless town of beheaded lamps, silent bees play at light, waltzing to honey. Old lucky journey set to the music of the spheres, your day has come. Anonymous calls in a request for crumpled kite. And this one I have memorized. Blink, iota, blink. I'm going to start with a poem called Prelude from the manuscript entitled Blue Shift Road. Earth beckons rain and grape, grape tugs the sun that makes it ripen. Screen stretched across a doorframe or painted with peacocks and towering waterfalls keeps moths from flame, flame from extinguishing gaze. Untranslatable, trading yellow crayons for leaves. Undeterred, every leaf shades us. I'll read a few poems from Sonnets, the book that was published in 2010 from Shearsman Books. They are exactly that, although some people might say they're not true sonnets, but I did stick to the requisite 14 lines, and then I just did whatever the hell I wanted to do. I just played with it. I wrote sonnets in the form of riddles, sonnets with various kinds of word repetitions, just whatever struck me. I was just trying to do variations on the sonnet form. So this is the one that's in the form of a riddle. I dissipate when you need me most. What am I? I dig in when you most need to be alone with your regret. What am I? Maybe you won't mind if I just leave you clawing the air. What am I? What if I settle in for a while, your worst memory? What am I? Or else I'll morph into you. But what if there's no you? What am I? And this is my only true Katrina poem. I did write some poems that before Katrina that were about, the possibility of Katrina, but this was my post-Katrina poem. And after the storm was over, we were all trying to wrap our heads around it, and it was pretty impossible, and we were all kind of in shock and, a little bit depressed about it. And I found that my mind was going to, a place that was just totally the opposite of what Katrina had done to my city. which was these wonderful, beautiful, crystal clear tundra lakes that I saw when I was climbing up on peaks of the Rocky Mountains, and it was just sort of a clean, pristine kind of quality that was so opposite to what I knew was happening in New Orleans. And it's called Katrina Tundra. I make up paths that end without warning in the eye of the storm. I know which path to take, but once I start thinking, deciding becomes impossible. On the tundra, old juniper bushes were once juniper berries. I gaze at the news on TV, old enough to bury childish nostalgia, but not too old to cultivate obsessive watching. A child in the public library, I gazed at the yellowing pages of sapphire tundra lakes. I learned of the yellowish waters of the flood. I learned that ptarmigans turn white in winter, and gazed at an island afloat in the middle of water shimmering in the wintry sun. In my neighborhood, islands of red ants float in filthy water. Before painted fruit and flowers, nothing survived. Dinosaur tracks evolve in the wandering cognition of wingless creatures. Sadness about elusive treasure seeks a colossal crane. My ship has sailed and is gone forever. Phantom storms capsize phantom ships. Cold latitudes of blindness orbit consciousness. Sleep scribbles latent flora, effacing genuine blooms. A being signals and airs forever. Rainy wind, drained of depth, but still its own cosmos of doubtful gestures. Impossible to stay in one place, the mind would vanish. Across the sky, cottony mammals parade, shifting forever. Vaguely happy people march into their shelters. A doll awakens to life, becomes a toy forever. If only memory held the key. If traces were the key to grammar, not yet grammar. If the brute sound waves of jackhammers were a way to witness. The memory of brutes is brutes remembering, or something remembering brutes. Cleaving, or cleaving to. Typical, like photographs imagining they capture perfect moods. Just perfect, think the photographs as they capture brute space. They feel limited. If only they had perfect readers to rescue them, though readers are unreliable witnesses. They limit, they garble, they cannot rescue all their moments. At best, they rescue typical memories of random jackhammers and crowds. At best, moments emerge and disintegrate like babbling crowds at their not yet grammar. At best, the crowds are random. If random, then rescue. If rescue, then witness. Twigs with tiny variations bob against the blue. No gunshot, no sprint. Earth murmurs on its axis, volume turned off. No hearts beating to drums. Seeds hook animal fur, No countdown, but a desert blossoming between 1 and 0. Droplets fed by tiny catastrophes dangle from twigs. And the next set is from Looms, my most recent full-length collection. Right now is what dwindling feels like, despite the mulberry outside my window steadfastly anchoring its taproot. The new century counts planets that might support rooted beings and ravenous predators, but stardust piles up on lines connecting dots and constellations, blurring them into nebulae. Shapeless experience waffles between concrete and abstract, accounting for the popularity of horoscopes, especially when Jupiter enters Aries and we vacillate like volcanoes heaving ash before the pyroclastic flow, collapsing before tsunami, dwindling until the next cycle. I abstractly shake dew from ripe mulberries, or I lie down, gazing at shivering green tracery, non-existent a couple of months ago, and just as soon to vanish. A more or less concrete cup of coffee balances on my belly, wobbling to the diastolic and systolic rhythms of my heart. Reinventing Stairs takes a plot as subtle as dust drifting onto a slope in undecided space. Position is everything. Even drifting stars imply a story. Gather enough stories, and some get buried forever in urns. Those exhumed know that memory and sunlight rove hand in hand, but they keep it secret. They know that both weave their mirrors as loosely as spider webs reflecting a clear sky shattered by more splashes than words to describe water. As the saying goes, the lake shifts its words in light of the hill. Shifting the alphabet is chancy, like the judicial system of a virus. How soon vapor driven by chance forgets. Speech is soon followed by rubble. The speaker remains hopeful, only to hear a familiar echo. I am your voice, and I have your vote. Fading echoes aren't the best antiseptic, but isn't all life sacrosanct? Embellished with disease, warriors long to understand, but what they really want to fathom, they kill. Hi, I'm going to read from the chat book that you just published. Thank you very much. It's called, yeah, I know, thank you. And this is called Sugar Beach. It was just published in, 2004, I guess. It's brand spanking new. Yeah? What did I say?
You said 2004.
Oh my God. I'm losing it. It just, whoop. Where did... I'm young again. This is, as Margaret pointed out, this is a mixture of poems from two manuscripts, the little minimalist poems that I read at first, and also the cosmic peregrinations from Blue Shift Road. Light. Oh, I forgot the title. It's called Blink. Light is not inevitable. Overshot it, or not yet there. Nothing, for that matter. In any case, not arrived. Anything could have been otherwise. Newfangleness. A leap of leopards under a crescent moon happens without us, but we're there just the same. No keystone, no pre-existing edifice to crumble under duress, but we shape it, souped up and juiced with voltage. If we shut our lids, we can hear the unkindness of ravens and the reedy twang of angelfish catechizing in a school for mute sirens. Or a single grub foraging for roots, destined, we have to believe, to receive its just focus. Just in case, we invoke turquoise to replace its molecules and rotor blades to trump the incessant humming far beneath flecks of gold. We'd like to think we haven't changed a thing. I read this poem, or I think actually I put it on one of those listservs, just to kind of promote the book, and someone thought I had something against Rome, so just to say, nothing against Rome. Identity as Norwegian pagoda. It never was the right time to travel to Rome to find yourself. Autumn fog and rainy wind are symbols of crushed hopes, miasma birthing counterfeiters who clutter the globe with shields of Sistine junk. Praise the miasma. Who wants to be gulled by the hand that pulls back the curtain? Better to reinvent metacarpals for houseflies, to hullabaloo down the pike, tearing blank after blank to bits. Rome's an imposter. Mimicry ripples from the dying words of the last spelunker on earth. Surf's roar summons beached puddles ad infinitum. Bred in chiaroscuro, savvy pilgrims fashion caves of ice adorned with sequined plums and settle in for a long night. And I'm going to read some poems that are also in the manuscript Blue Shift Road. And by the way, there's some copies of Sugar Beach over there if you'd like to pick one up. This is called Page Dust for Will, and you will recognize the sources from which I got these three poems. Page Dust for Will. My window's view is nothing like a panorama of mountain peaks from a chalet keeping frost from chilling, drowsing eyes. Nothing like a cinematic postcard of dazzling sand, umbrellas in primary colors, wave after wave, slowing sundials around the world. My window is nothing like the cockpit glass on a space capsule revealing the spherical riddle and its dream to observe itself through hazy atmosphere. I see a wall dividing two scenes. In one, boys choreograph supple leaps and feints on a red basketball court. In the other, an old woman in a parka trots in circle after circle on a gray sunlit slab. Thy black is fairest, golden time, black and loving the violet past with golden quill. Black lines and black ink wonder at the lily's white despair. White had stolen summer's green by black night. Color it had stolen, yellow autumn flowers in hue, thy golden time with golden face which yet are green. If snow be white, silvered over by black night, why yellow leaves need no color. Thou, black, have put on scarlet ornaments and sealed the forward violet. Meadows green are raven, nor red nor silver fountains make black night to blossom green. And this one you may actually recognize whole lines. This is a Shakespearean cento, borrowing lines from Shakespeare in the form of a villanelle. Nimble thoughts leap hill and field, yielding wealth on barren ground, but earth devours her own brood. As waves approach the pebbled shore, as sunset fades in distant clouds, nimble thoughts leap crest and sail. Sing to the ear that loves your songs, create from every bad a best, but earth devours her own brood. Chasing wind that flees from them, coloring shadows that lure blind eyes, nimble thoughts grasp shade and air. Morning flatters mountain peaks, and peace proclaims eternal olives, but earth devours her own brood. You can tell that you are you when mirrors flaunt yourself to you, and nimble thoughts cast warmth to brow, but earth devours her own brood. I didn't bring a watch. You know, or maybe a couple more?
Sure.
Okay. A couple more. Oh, yeah. Okay. Endless regression of heavens. Glaciers dribble foreign rocks as dawn releases chicory blue. Its fickle hues waltz round equator, spool, top, dizzy moon, gainly as the patter of millipedes ruffling toward a country with no flag but fields of chicory blue. Horizon, chromatic with moments. What of the next and the next? Plunging into myth, evolving in the deeps, haunting the deeps while manning the crow's nest. With each finite duration, we arrive closer by half to a famished constellation, blinking beast, perpetually devouring a platter of chicory blue. Okay, this is for us poets. At our uncouth birth, the cosmos exhausted names for hucksters presumed extinct. We shun geometry while bisecting trapezoid spirals. It never dawns on us to stockpile ephemera for a hard-up day. Spotlights might stop some felons, but not us. We toss our sabot into the rapid reflexes of clocks, pinch diamonds and fence them for a fleeting pair of eyes. We lie in wait for ourselves, birdlime capturing a warbling feast. We breed depth, skim surface, plunge into deafening throngs, and spring back. From banal atoms, we conjure apocalypse and spurn mop-up operations. We are castaways in limbo with artificial wings and no aspiration. Pressed to find a flaw, we say we're failed meteorologists, wandering from puddle to puddle, spooning up the rain to read the sky. Thank you.